Hello, this is Loren Gailey, and I am so excited to invite you to this special retreat on the Big Island of Hawaii. I had a quick conversation with my co-hostess Karen Valentine, who says this particular spot on the Big Island, South Point, is very powerful for personal transformation, as well as being able to ignite your passions and creativity.
Right now to think about how in moving into this fourth dimensional activity, how our thoughts and our consciousness can make a difference in everything that the world creates and what we create.
And so it's almost as if we need to purify on the volcanic island, the goddess Pele, purify with the volcano fire energy so that we can go forward and ignite our passions and creativity.
Right. One of the things that that energy does is it clears away the old stuff. If you can imagine a volcano, the lava going through an old area, and of course, it doesn't care what it hits, but it clears away everything and creates something brand new. So I know that a lot of people, when they come to this island, sometimes they feel uncomfortable. And I think it's because the energy here is so powerful, and it's bringing up things inside all of us that we just have to look at. And it's wonderful because it allows us a space where we can be powerful, just like the goddess Pele. And we can do what we want to do, and we can be with people that are like-minded or people that aren't, and just work through our issues together. It's quite interesting and quite powerful. But if we approach it with love, the love energy that we get from the dolphins and all of the other ocean energy around us, and the green growth, it just makes for a powerful combination. One thing that happens, what happens in Hawaii is that there's so many areas that are tourist-oriented areas, and I think that often what happens there is that there are so many energies that interfere with what we could think is the primal energy that's in that space, or the ancient energies that are in that space. So it's wonderful to be able to get into an area that's sort of untouched and untrampled. I guess I'd call it untrampled, because there are things to look at and things to feel that help us to appreciate the Hawaiian spirit and the spirit of the ancients that have been here.
Yes, the spirit of the ancients, and we're going to visit the sacred sites, several sacred sites around the area, meditation at those sites, and we're also going to hear the legends, and I don't even like to call them legends, but we're going to hear the stories and the history or the herstory of those places.
Yeah, absolutely. One interesting fact, I have a very good friend who I hope is going to be able to join us, and he's a native Hawaiian. His family goes back to the time of Kamehameha, the great King Kamehameha, when his family was responsible for the guardianship of that king. And it's a very close family, and when he was a child, he was kind of selected by his elders, the elders of the family, to be the keeper of the stories. And so he remembers as a child being whispered to and people telling him things that as he grew up, he kind of put them aside because he joined the Marines, and he was in the Marines and in Vietnam and went through his own trials, and now he's come back to this island, and these stories are coming up inside him, and he's just sharing them in a very humble, unassuming way. And so this is an area down here in Ka'u where his family had history. I'll give you just one example. Excuse me. I was going to the Black Sand Beach, which is an area where we're going to visit with these great giant sea turtles and wonderful black sand, which is kind of nourishing when you lie down in it. It's very warm, and and the ocean is powerful next to it. And I didn't realize that all of the times I visited that place, I was walking right by an area of ancient petroglyphs that has drawings. And he told me what those were, and I'm not going to tell you right now because it's going to be on our trip. But it was the story that came out that sometimes we just walk right by these things and we don't recognize them. So one of the things that we're going to be doing is being still, being quiet, and allowing things to reveal themselves to everybody.
Allowing us to remember things that we know inside, perhaps.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, when we think of the Big Island, I think of, Hawaii is very special. Each island has a separate feeling to it. I love the Big Island because it feels like Lemuria rising. It is Lemuria, but yet it's new creation. And it feels very energetic that we can really use the energy that's down there to set our intentions moving forward through the next 6 months and years ahead.
You are so right. I mean, you've just hit it on the head. That's exactly how I feel about living here on the Big Island, and especially the southern part of the island. It's got a whole more powerful, I think, energy, and it does help us to go inside, but also work with the energy. It's going to be a lot of fun too. It's fun here.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Just as we were speaking before we started the recording, you said it's a beautiful day there. The sun is shining.
This is a magical valley, the magical valley of Waiohinu, where I live. I call it that. It's green and the hills are rolling hills. We have lots of fruit trees on the property, bananas and papayas and oranges and mangoes and avocados and things like that just grow up around us. And then there's also a kind of a fresh breeze today, so we get a few winds here that aren't strong. They vary from day to day.
Wonderful. And if we're lucky on this trip and we have an option of a dolphin boat excursion as well as a manta ray snorkel, just some good extra options for those who are water adventurers. And when you were talking about the avocado trees, my goodness, how luscious that would be to walk and grab an avocado and eat it for lunch or dinner. Oh, goodness. We're going to eat a lot of really delicious raw food as well.
Yes, I have a wonderful raw food consultant who's going to be with us and creating these wonderful little meals. And she did it with me. I had the honor of spending a few days with her, and she created some full meals and menu for me to show me what raw food is all about. And it was truly eye-opening and surprising to me, because I would get this plate of these little tidbits of wonderful little things that I didn't really know what they were, but they tasted delicious. You mentioned the avocados. One example is that she made a really nice a guacamole with all fresh ingredients, and then placed it, instead of on a tortilla, it was on a nasturtium leaf. And the nasturtiums are growing around my house. And I didn't realize you could eat the leaf, but it has this real peppery flavor that adds a little bit of spice to this guacamole. It was wonderful.
And the property around these 3 vacation homes sounds just wonderful. Can you describe the beautiful walking distance between each other or the environment in this 3-house setting?
Well, they're all within a few steps of each other, so it's kind of a compound. And the land it's not totally flat. It kind of has some lava flows in it, ancient lava flows, what we call pahoehoe lava outcroppings. And so it makes it kind of you can imagine a rock garden pathway with You have to kind of work your way around the banana trees and the coffee trees and things, but it's pretty really nice space, and every room is a little different. Each one has its own view of the outdoors, and then we'll gather in the big house, which has the wraparound lanai, where we can sit and talk story, have our meals and things like that.
And there's fire circles. A couple evenings we'll have a fire circle, and even some healing violin music, depending if we get the group at the numbers of 10. You know, if it's a little smaller than that, we'll revisit that. But it's going to be a great time. I wanted to have you speak a little bit about the lava